looking very much up. Dan, what is more likely then? A Bucs repeat or an upset against Philly?
Bucs repeat. And if my wife is watching, I'm sorry. I know you're an Eagles girl. I get all that. But, I think that the reality is this. Tampa Bay has something in the playoffs that no other team does, outside of their quarterback. Their offensive line continuity is real. It's the best unit. I said this 6 weeks ago. It's the best and most trustworthy unit heading into the playoffs. Those 5 offensive linemen are the key to everything that Tampa Bay does. Number 2, their quarterback led the league in passing by almost 1,000 yards. The reason he led the league in passing by almost 1,000 yards, or a great reason why, is because of the performance of that offensive line. And I think people are still kind of counting out the fact that he's got 2 gold jacket winners still to throw the football to. Gronk obviously won, and I think Mike Evans, when it's all said and done, is going to be a Hall of Fame wide receiver. So because of that offensive line, I still believe in that football team. Because their quarterback still led the league in passing by almost 1,000 yards, I still believe in that football team. And because of Gronk and Mike Evans, I still think their offense can be dynamic. I love the Eagles. I think that there is a formula, a very unique one, to go and knock off Tampa Bay. They got to go for over 250 yards rushing. And I think it's a tremendous story, what they have accomplished this year. It's the most impressive story this season for me. But they're 0-6 versus playoff teams this year. So the Eagles are a good football team, but they are not likely or good enough to kind of knock off Tampa Bay. I still think Tampa Bay can go and make it back to the Super Bowl and win.
Yeah, listen, I'm going to go with the Eagles, knocking off the Bucs as more likely. Here's the reason. Yes, here's the reason. I mean, think about this. We're talking about a scenario where one game between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Eagles, as opposed to going as a wild card team, you're winning 3 times to get to the Super Bowl and then win the Super Bowl. So that's, 4 games that you have to win. And here's what I'm going to say about the Philadelphia Eagles. Yes, they hadn't beaten, a winning team. I get all of that. But Dan, and I know this as well. This Eagles team has evolved throughout the season. Their rushing attack is real with Jalen Hurts. And the one thing that we saw from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, especially down the stretch, this is not the same rush defense that everyone has been accustomed to seeing from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They were giving up quite a few rushing yards to opposing teams. And we know, especially on the edges, that's where the Philadelphia Eagles, in my opinion, will live in this game. If the weather is going to be what they're talking about, which is rain, thunderstorms, that plays right into, a team like Philadelphia that wants to run the football in adverse conditions. They're not going to be banging their head up against, running up the middle with Ndamukong Suh and Vita Vea. They're going to try to get on the edge with the RPO rushing attack, and obviously with Jalen Hurts, who averaged more yards per carry than any other quarterback in the National Football League. So I think that the Philadelphia Eagles defensively, they're going to play a type of game where they're not going to let people get behind them. They'd rather have Tom Brady earn it the hard way. And we know the Philadelphia Eagles up front, as much as we talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, their offensive line, which is very good, the Eagles have a very good front as well. So I think this is going to be a matchup in the trenches, rushing attack. We know Tampa doesn't run the ball. Tampa,
are you taking Philly? Are you taking Philly in the game? Are you saying it?
No, I'm not taking Philly. I'm not.
You're saying that Philly's more likely to have an upset.
What the question was: is there a better? What's the better chance? Philly in the upset or Tampa repeating in the Super Bowl? And in this scenario, I'm going to go with Philly in the upset.
All right. So, like I said, I think there's a very unique formula for the Eagles to pull this off. We kind of talked about this on NFL Live in regards to Tampa Bay's run defense. When I was in Houston, our coach Gary Kubiak, we would always have to go play against the Indianapolis Colts. And he had this philosophy that when the Colts did not have Robert Mathis and Dwight Freeney on the field, we were going to throw the football every play. We were going to run no-huddle offense, and we were not going to substitute, and we we're going to throw every play because that's what we felt was our best opportunity to go throw the football and score points. And I think that it could be a very similar philosophy for the Eagles when Vita Vea is not on the field. If Vita Vea is not on the field, the Eagles should run the ball every snap. And they should play no-huddle football almost like a college team does, get to the line of scrimmage with crazy tempo, and they should not sub. If there's a lot of opportunity to do that, I think they can run the football on them with some success. I still go back to this, Wood, and I love a lot of the parts of the Philadelphia Eagles defense. I don't think that they have somebody that you can feel confident enough to slow down Rob Gronkowski. I think Darius Slay can hold his own against Mike Evans. I do, but I don't believe they have anybody that can slow down Rob Gronkowski in the middle of the field. So while the Eagles offense can have the opportunity to run the ball some, I don't believe that their defense is going to be good enough over the course of 4 quarters to slow down a Hall of Famer and Rob Gronkowski. So I love it. I love the Eagles story. I love that they got in. It's been an impressive season. But I can't sit here and think that Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts are going to go beat Tom Brady. I can't sit here and kind of go on television and vouch that that's going to happen. I just believe it's so unlikely.
Hey, listen, we're talking about the playoffs here. We're talking about the playoffs. We've seen crazy things happen in the postseason. Again, I'm going to say it again.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
If this week is any indication of what it was like last weekend, we're in for a treat.
If the Eagles beat the Buccaneers, would you not say it's one of the biggest upsets in the last 20 years in the NFL? Certainly of Tom Brady's career. I would view that as one of the biggest upsets, certainly since I've been paying attention or been a part of the NFL. This would be an enormous upset.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Considering what we thought that what the Philadelphia Eagles were going to be coming into the season and going up against Tom Brady, down in Tampa, absolutely. But I'm just saying, it's the postseason. Anything can happen in the postseason.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.